Hi, Karen. Happy end of 2022. I wish everyone else could see this incredible view of you sitting in a witness protection program.
Correct. Yes, I am closing 2022, sitting on the floor. Like,
It's okay. It's okay.
of my witness protection program bunker. Yes, thank you. Happy end of 2022 to you. Farewell, 2022. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. What the fuck? Get out.
Bye-bye. I will say that I think this year has actually it's been better than 2020 and 2021, at least in my experience. Is that the same with you, or how has it been? Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I've had a really high this year.
Yes.
And really low lows this year. So it's, I guess on balance, 2022, yes, has been better. But yeah, no, it kicked my ass the whole year.
Yeah.
Off and on. Yes.
Totally. It's like there's no middle ground. There's no gray. It's not like we're just coasting. We're just decent, content. It's like
Correct.
I'm going to kick your butt or I'm going to raise you into a levitated state.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly right. And I wrote about it actually. So I will say on the pod because I wrote about it for the 19th and it's Instagram official. I know that I wrote about it for the 19th saying like we were supposed to write about what we love this year. And I wrote a very sappy thing about love because I had a Zoom breakup this year, and I got engaged this year.
Yay! To a wonderful human, and it's so exciting. Congratulations to both of you. I'm so happy for the two of you. It like makes my heart sing immediately when you told me. I told all of my family who also were cheering on the phone. I'm not even kidding. I really am not kidding.
Oh, thank you very much, Katie. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you so much. And you're one of the first people to meet them over Zoom.
Yes, I remember vividly, and hopefully in person sometime soon, because that would be just so wonderful. I'm so happy for you, and congratulations on making it pod official.
It's exactly. I know. Wow. Hello, listeners. I know. I think no, I haven't told everybody I know who listens to this, but I feel like I got a wide swath of people on Instagram.
Yes, that's good.
So yeah.
Thank God for social media. Isn't that great? When you can just like, it's like, what did people do before? I mean, you sent an email, you sent what did you do? Send carrier pigeon? Like, how would people find out for things? Like, how would people find out about stuff? Like Instagram, I know it's just obviously people find out about things other than Instagram, but it is very convenient.
I mean, it's incredibly convenient. And I'm just, as soon as you said that, I was just like picturing me sitting in front of my rotary phone with my pencil, dialing everybody's phone number to call them, crossing them off my list in my phone book. Yeah, I have no idea what we did before. I really don't.
It's so amazing. It's like, and then with the mail-in everything, like I'm going to a baby shower in Las Vegas for my cousin, who is the one that I went to the crazy wedding for, crazy as in the best wedding ever, the Indian Pakistani wedding last year. She is pregnant, my cousin's wife, and she is from Las Vegas. I was telling a friend about this, and my friend was like, that's an interesting place for a baby shower. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, except that she's actually from there. So we're going to their house and yada, yada. It's going to be nice. But like the whole thing is digital. It's a text message. It's like, oh, by the way, first it's a text message with her ultrasound picture, which she sent to a bunch of people. And like, it's very exciting. And everyone's like, yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. And then it's a text message of, here's the screenshot of the Canva invite. And then it's a text message of the Evite. And then the Evite has the registry. Everything is digital. And I'm thrilled about it, because if I had gotten something in the mail, not that I don't love mail, I do, but like if I had gotten something in the mail and then I lost it, I would have been like, oh shoot. And I can just go back in my text messages. I'm into it.
Super into it. Congratulations to your cousin.
I'm so happy for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that this story continues. So the shower obviously is in person. I have to ask, is your family doing a dance for the shower too?
Totally appropriate question. So I was not asked to do a dance for the shower, although I am thinking that there will be a lot of, it will not just be a baby shower, it will be a very large production, because my cousin's wife's mother is a professional wedding planner in Las Vegas. And so this is like, so I mean, maybe not, maybe it's just a backyard cool thing and that's totally fine. I have no expectations truly, but yeah, we're going to probably pass on the dance, but my mom and my sister are coming, which is very exciting. So we're going to have a fun like weekend in Vegas, which is so random because I'm not a Vegas person really at all. I'm actually like not a huge fan of Vegas. And so, but doing something like this, it's like, whatever. Maybe we'll see Shania Twain on a Saturday. I don't know. Oh my God. Fit it in with Cirque du Soleil or something. I don't know. Something.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Well, I haven't been to Vegas since the before time. So I'm even trying to picture, it's odd to even picture Vegas post-pandemic.
Totally.
Not that we're post, but you know what I mean.
It makes me wonder if COVID ever hit Vegas, if you know what I mean, which makes me a little nervous. Like it's kind of one of those places that I was like, I'm pretty sure I said the words to Tyler, I will never go to Vegas because there are so many people there, and here I am going to Vegas. But backtracking to your wonderful news and also the Instagram announcement, it's so wonderful to have it as an Instagram announcement for people that like maybe you don't talk to all the time, because you can also see pictures of you and your beautiful person, and it's like you together, and it's like they have context, and then they also have the caption. I don't know. I didn't think I would be going so hard on social media today, but I kind of I'm into it for this purpose.
Thank you very much. You are absolutely right. And I will admit that I just reposted MLB's post because they're a poet and it was so beautiful. And I was like, I'm not gonna try to replicate this. As we talked about earlier, 99.9% of people have been absolutely beautiful and amazing and supportive and so loving. And it's good to have good news. And
yes,
we're just really happy. And then of course there are the exceptions to that. And I just want people really to have the ability to check themselves. Like someone has just told you something that they are very excited about. And whether you objectively are excited about it or not, that person doesn't really give a shit. Like, I just wish that people were able to assess like, oh, someone's told me something they consider to be good news. Am I being supportive or am I being a jackass right now? Because I've had some people who are being jackasses about it. And I'm like, wow, like, is this who you really want to be? Is this where you're at in your life, that like you find out a friend is engaged and this is what you say? Okay.
Seriously, those people need to go into like a 10-day silent Buddhist retreat and just think about what they've done, because that is a bunch of bullshit right there. Like just be happy for people who are happy. That's it. Just be happy for people who are happy. And like, you can have your own opinion. That's your business, but keep it to yourself. And just, I mean, I will say that like not for things that this large, but I can definitely think about moments where people maybe not have told me news directly to my face, but like I have, thought like maybe I shouldn't say the thing that I'm thinking right now. And like, that's always a good reflex like that to have. I mean, I don't know if I always abide by that, but it's just a good thing to just be happy for people who are happy. It's just about them. If you're not happy for them, it's a reflection of your reality, and maybe you need some more therapy.
Well, and thank you for putting that way, because it really is like, how can I make this your news about me? Like being kind of shitty about it is really a way to make this thing about them. And I feel like I know of people who've gotten engaged and I was like, shit. But I feel like I have conjured up some kind of maybe like muted, like, oh my God, that's great for you.
You fake it. You're just like, that's awesome. I'm so happy for your experience. Like that's
exactly. You seem happy and that is great.
That's a wonderful thing. I mean, yes, obviously if you know that there's like some bad shit in the background that like, maybe that person doesn't know about, like there's, or isn't addressing or whatever, like obviously there's a time and a place. But in the space, in my very unbiased opinion of you and MLB, I mean, I'm not biased. I am entirely biased, but still, I mean, the oozing of love between the two of you is indisputable. And so fuck everybody who doesn't just want to shout it from the rooftops, because that's what is required, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all of that. And thank you, everyone. If you are listening and you have reached out, thank you very much. It does mean so much. It means so much. And it really is like awesome to be able to share it with people. That's the other thing. Like, I'm not on social media very much. And so to be on it and to be able to share something and have people participate in it is really beautiful, and is a good reminder of, yes, why social media is not entirely from the devil, is maybe just from a demon.
Yes, it's a demon that is sometimes a happy demon. And there are moments of light that occur. Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's so wonderful. I'm thrilled for you. And it's like, it's so interesting what you say in terms of like there being the highs and then there being the not so highs. And yeah, I think for me, like I did this exercise, Karen, a couple days ago where I downloaded, it's free actually. It's called Year Compass, and it's kind of cool to do. It's basically, I don't know why it's free, but you can just download this PDF, and it's like 20 pages, and you basically go through all of 2022 and like how everything went and like what kinds of things you wanted to either accomplish or how you wanted to feel or how you did feel or whatever. And then you go to 2020, you also fill it in for 2023. And there's all these really thought-provoking questions. And it was really cool, except that it totally depressed the shit out of me, because like, it was like, oh my God, I went month by month, and I was like, oh, okay, this happened this month. I saw these people this month, and there were so many highs. And then I think looking at it all on one page, I was like, oh yeah, I had COVID for 2 months, and Lucy got really sick for a little bit. And, there's just like, it's so interesting to look at like the way, like what it holds weight. And there's like so many wonderful things, like the fact that I went to Portugal this year, and the fact that I like am more healthy now since like August when I stopped eating refined sugar. Like all of these things are so positive. And I wish those things could hold so much more weight than the negative sometimes. And like, yet I looked at all of them written out on one page, and I was like, oh, it's a little tough. I had to walk away from it for a minute.
Yes. I can only imagine. I love this exercise / it sounds very painful. And I love this point you're making that heavy things are just heavy. We call them heavy for a reason, right?
Totally.
Like, and I don't know what the ratio is of how many positive things can happen that makes the negative things not feel so heavy or feel so impactful or feel like so lasting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that looks like. Yeah, I mean, thinking about my own year, I'm with you. I totally with you. Like the heavy things that happened, the bad shit that happened to me this year, some of it I can do that and just like as we said 2 episodes ago, just kind of let it go or take the sting out of it. But some of it's irreversible. I lost family members this year. So yeah.
Right. And then you gained this incredible life partner that like, and so it's like, there's so many, it's always like the juggle. I feel like it's interesting. It reminds me of like the concept of a compliment sandwich, when like you really just want to tell someone something really mean or like give them some criticism, but you start with like something positive, and then you kind of like ease into the negative, and then you end with the positive. So you're sandwiching it. And I feel like that sort of works, but like then like I might have talked about this on the pod previously, but like our marriage therapist, she's like, you have to make a lot of deposits if you're going to make any withdrawals. And I'm just like, oh. And so like Tyler and I are trying to figure out how to make more deposits. Like, I appreciate you for this and this and this, because like when a withdrawal is made or when something negative is said and like there aren't any positive things around it, it's way worse, way, way worse. There's no padding. And so, yeah.
Ooh. Man. Okay. So I'm nodding and looking at my phone while you're talking only because, so have you read The Love Prescription?
I've never heard of it. No, it's a book.
Yes. So there is this, I think he's a clinical psychologist who, John Gottman, he has a love lab. He and his wife have a love lab in Seattle.
Oh, I've heard of Gottman.
Gottman, yes. Right. So they study couples, and like, I think the last like I don't know if the cumulative number is 3,000, but this is this number of
Wow.
3,000 couples. And literally they have them come and stay in this apartment and they film. I don't know how much they film. That's a little creepy, but like literally the micro expressions on their faces, they document everything about these couples. And then they
What?
write these books about like, exactly like you're saying, like couples that have, whose, you know, whose tanks are 86% full are this much more likely to stay together after 6 years. Like all of these things, but
Yes.
they are very big on this idea of like, that it's the micro interactions that are so important. And that like, yes, you have to, I think there actually is a ratio in the book about like, it takes like 7 or 8 positive interactions to counteract the impact of one negative one.
Oh, I think that
It might even be
totally
more
makes
than that.
sense. I will look this up. The Love Prescription.
It's the latest book. They have a series of books, but that's the one that's out now. And MLB and I are both reading it, and it's really, really good and very like written in very plain English and like
Yeah,
uses like real couple examples. It's really good.
that's so cool. That is really, really cool. I will totally check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. I think it's like, I think there's like this feeling somewhat of resistance in me that like I just want to feel like I know everything and like that I'm like a perfect partner, and that's just not true. That's just not true. I don't think anyone is. And it's like it's so good to always want to learn more about that, because who teaches us about being partners? Like nobody.
And that's the whole thing. And not only does no one explicitly teach us, the modeling, I'm not going to speak for anybody else's childhood and life, but the modeling in my life, not awesome. So
not so much. No.
So it's like we didn't get any explicit messages, and the implicit messages were also not amazing. So you really do, I feel very strongly that you really do have to teach yourself.
Yeah, it's like going back to school. And it's like, how cool would it be if there was like class in elementary school of how to treat each other, not even romantically, just like in general. I'm just talking about like just being a person in the world. I feel like that is way more interesting than like taking chemistry 101, like, which I will never use ever, never, ever in my life, ever. Zero.
In place of home ec, for example. Like I'm old enough that I took home ec.
Same.
The girls took home ec. Oh wait, no, I think we may have been co-ed, but we were like, it was like not that long.
It was early co-ed. Yeah.
Yes, right. That like everybody took home ec and everybody took shop, but there had been a period of time when only the girls took home ec and only the boys took shop.
Yes. So pretty much only the boys took shop in my class or in my school, but I had an option to do shop and I opted for home ec instead. And I think there might have been one boy, and he, I think, transitioned out of it within the first couple of weeks. Yeah.
I was going to say transitioned.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Well, transferred, I guess. Transferred. Well, that, yeah, maybe. But like, I mean, also, I think we cooked brownies. Anyway, this is in the spirit of the best tangents ever. Yeah. That is, yeah, I feel like there's some problematic issues in our school systems that continue to perpetuate the patriarchy. And yeah, I would be open to actually, honestly, having a conversation with some sort of school administrator or something to talk about that and like talk about how kids can be like, what is the next step for school systems? I actually had a conversation with a friend about this the other day. She has a 6-year-old who's super artistic, super, super bright, does not like to sit down in class and does not like to like have like the normal grading and that kind of stuff. And it's this teacher is just so angry at the 6-year-old, and the mom is like, hold on a second, like this, there have to be other ways for children to learn other than this like didactic, like just like you sit there and it's such an industrial revolution idea. Anyway, I'm going to get on a tangent about this and I know we need to move on, but it's just, I feel like there's a lot to say about like why education, doesn't work for everyone.
No. And what I was thinking when you were saying that was like, oh, that kid needs Montessori school.
Totally. That's exactly what I told the mom. And she's like, yeah, we're thinking about that. Or like an outdoor school. Have you heard of these outdoor schools? Oh, this is
California. I have.
Oh, yeah. So this is totally a thing on the West Coast. And so like, these are literal schools that are outside, like they don't have any indoor space. And so the whole idea is that you're like learning about plants, and you learn about other things as well, but it's all year long. And so it's like, yeah, obviously you can do that in San Francisco. There's not a big deal. Or it's not a big deal. There's a few days of rain. They put a tarp. It's no big deal. But like in Bend, there are outdoor schools here, and it's freezing sometimes. And so like, obviously they're never going to make a child freeze their butts off. So they'll be an option, but still it's an interesting concept of like learning in different settings. So
yes. And I love that. And I would love to talk to somebody, I mean, about this whole quote unquote, I'm making air quotes, parental rights movement and book bans, and how like, oh, I don't want my kid to read that book, so no kid should read that book. Like, what the fuck, man? That whole thing. And the last thing on this topic, I know we have to move on, is Mamie and I watched, I hope I said their name. Oh well. We watched.
Do you want me to edit it out? I can edit it out.
No, it's okay.
Okay. MLB and you watched.
I know, they totally don't care. I'm the weird one about it. We watched the 30th anniversary Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
I had no idea about this, Katie. I'm not a TV watcher, as you know.
Problematic, I would imagine.
So it's like they were showing the original Beauty and the Beast, but then they had this multicultural cast acting out some of the songs.
So cool.
It actually was really badass. The guy who played Gaston was like so good. And like the singer played Belle.
Oh my
was,
God.
like, so beautiful. And Rita Moreno was in it as the narrator.
Oh,
it
God.
was like, it was really cool, I have to say. Like, it was very Disney, but very cool. Like, her just kicked ass, all the things. And watching that story unfold again was fucking mortifying.
Yes.
And MLB just kept yelling at me, like, you have to just suspend this notion that she is a captive. She is a hostage. All of the things, all of these sweet interactions between them, and oh my God, all of these things, like, she is being held captive by this motherfucker. Like, I struggled. Oh, and Josh Groban played the Beast, which was both great and kind of creepy. It was weird.
I mean, I want to see this. And also, the problematic nature of all Disney movies is really upsetting. Like, it's so upsetting. That's so fascinating. And I'm so glad they're trying, I guess, to right the wrong. I mean, like, thank God they have a multicultural cast, and like to try to do something different versus just like re-airing Beauty and the Beast, like in its original 1992 version. Come on. Like the captive thing. I mean, Sleeping Beauty, she is not consenting to a kiss from the prince. I mean, yeah. And then it's like all of the mothers die in like almost all of these stories. And it would be interesting, and I bet this exists, to read some sort of autobiography, something about Walt Disney himself, and figure out like what was his background. I'm sure there's a million people who even listen to this podcast and know what that is, but did he have mother issues? Like, what were his views on relationships? Like,
I feel like so many of them though are based on folk tales and
that's fair,
fables. And so what is it in, I mean, right, Western culture that hates mothers and wants them to disappear and to be erased? And
yeah,
I mean, yes, he chose the stories they did, but yeah, that's a theme in,
it's true,
fairy tales and folk tales all over the world.
It's so true. And also the fact that like there is this male savior, that like someone is not going to be happy. There is no happiness to be had unless you are partnered with a cis, gendered white man. Like, God, I mean, like, oh my God, as if.
I'm gonna tell you, when the Beast transforms, so they did the animated version of when the Beast transforms back into the prince, and he did not hold up well. I'm gonna tell you, like, I laughed so hard because it was like, are you kidding me?
Oh gosh. Yeah, it is problematic big time. I think it would be fun to have someone on here who's like a historian of Disney movies, because seriously, like, that would be so fascinating. I mean, Karen, you and I, so many people grew up watching this thinking it was like the right thing. I mean, I know they're trying to change things with Frozen and Moana, and yeah.
Oh, I guess I was thinking Inside Out, but that's Pixar.
Fair. I know. I'm trying to think, like, Toy Story was Pixar. I don't know. They blur together. Yeah. Okay. So in the spirit of seamless segues.
Yes,
So I know we only have a few minutes left. Okay. So listeners, we are doing a year in review, and thanks to our friends at Spotify, we have been just given all of our year in review, basically, which is very exciting. And so they emailed us, or I guess every podcast on Spotify probably got the same type of email, but ours is, everyone has like something that is custom to their podcast. So we have a bunch of fun stats to share with you. The first one is that you and I, Karen, we created 1,495 minutes of new content this year, which seems cray-cray. And that is more than 96% of other creators in the health and fitness category, which PS, I didn't know we were in that category, but cool.
Cool that we are. And listeners, what we're doing, we got a Spotify Wrapped.
Yes.
Like everybody got, you got your Wrapped about like your top songs and whatever, which I'm kind of obsessed with. Yes, we got it as podcast creators, which I love for us.
Same. I love it. Okay.
What is do we want to say? I know you have to go, Katie.
No. I don't actually. It's okay. We can keep going. I'm just going to be 5 minutes late, which is great. Like I would prefer to stay on with you.
Okay. I'm just pulling out details that I loved. Okay. I guess the drum roll, we'll do the drum roll at the end, though this person already knows. I'll wait to say what our top episode was. But one of the other things I loved is that we are in 16 countries, listened to in 16 countries.
That's wild to me. I was shocked. I mean, at first my reaction, which I hate to say out loud, but was like, maybe people are just traveling to those countries from the US and they're just listening. But I'm like, no, I think I need to give us more credit than that. Like the top 5 countries are actually surprising to me. US, Australia, Canada, Germany, the UK. Germany? What?
Germany.
Australia?
I don't know if my aunt listens. I have an aunt who lives in Australia.
Do you really?
Yeah, my aunt.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, maybe she does.
And the UK might be Erin Cox.
Oh,
she
that's
moved
right.
from Estonia.
I forgot. That's right. She moved from Estonia to the UK. Germany, who the hell knows? Canada, what? I don't know. But still exciting.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to look at other ones. We're in the top 25 of the most followed podcasts on 25% of the most followed podcasts on Spotify. That seems enormous.
In health and fitness, I feel like there's some fine print. Some of these numbers, I'm like, really, Spotify? For real, though? Top 25 most followed podcasts?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. What else?
Ooh, I loved this. Ooh, that we are a top 10 podcast for 42 fans.
I mean, that's amazing. Thank you, 42 of you. That's incredible.
We're a top 5 podcast for 30 fans.
Whoa, that's amazing.
We are the number 1 podcast for, drumroll please, 8 fans, probably including you and I.
Yes. I mean, amazing. Thank you, 6 other people. This is really so exciting. This is just the beginning, Karen. It's just the beginning. Yeah, I think, yes, your podcast was on the top 10 most shared globally, which I was like, really? But top 10%, I keep saying without the percentage. Okay, but I think we're ready for our number 1 podcast of the year, listeners. If you are a longtime listener, you might be like, well, that's so obvious. But I think this is, I mean, I actually am not surprised as well. But this episode had a 330% average more streams. I don't know what words I'm saying, but it had a 330% increase in listeners than any other episode. So take it away, Karen. This is pretty great.
Thank you for letting me do the honors. Our number 1 most listened to episode of 2022 was Galentine's Day and Heart-Shaped Salami with Ginger Buddha.
Ginger Buddha coming in hot. Yes. Thank you, Tori. Always. Love you, Ginger Buddha. Also, thank you for most likely helping our averages in all counts. like
Correct.
yeah, I mean, I think the whole year was really great, but that was a significant boost for the rest of the year. That's amazing.
Well, and if you found us and are listening to us because of Ginger Buddha, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank all of you, of course, but that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. And I don't want to set some goals, but I will say that next year, I would love to be the #1 podcast for 9 listeners versus 8. One more, just one more. That would be a huge win. And if not, that's okay. If the number goes down, as long as you and I are still having fun, Karen, I don't actually care.
Same, Katie.
Same. Well, happy 2023, Karen. This has been a pleasure every week to talk to you. And listeners, we are going to be off for 2 weeks. We'll be back, let's see, the second week of January. We'll be back on January 9th. You can expect us then. We'll see you next year.